Everyone.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing tonight?
Amen. Hopefully we are live. Okay, I think I'm watching YouTube to see if we're live on YouTube. Okay, yep, we're in here. I'm gonna bring in Instagram everyone to go live for everybody over there. Okay, we got everybody in our live. Welcome, welcome, Instagram. Welcome, Facebook. Everybody that's in the house. So, and also, of course, on YouTube. Now, what I want to say is everybody on Instagram, for some reason with StreamYard, there's been some issues. So, if the live cut out on Instagram, you can come and join us on YouTube here. So Sherry Beckley on YouTube, if it falls out. Thank you everybody for checking in. I see California in the house. I see everybody that's coming in, New Orleans, Atlanta, Virginia. Thank you everyone for checking in. And tonight we want to bring you a subject on how to increase your credit score by 80 points. And I'm going to give you guys some strategies to do so. So we're going to give you actionable steps in order to increase your credit score. So I'm always hosting with my daughter Diamond. She's my beautiful Vanna White, but unlike Vanna White, she's Vanna Black, but she brings in knowledge too on making money. So Diamond, drop your YouTube channel for me in the chat. So if you guys want to make money, make sure you follow her and check her out. So Diamond, do you have anything you want to say to the people tonight?
Yeah, I just want to introduce myself to anyone who doesn't know me. Like Sherry said, this is my mom, and I always feel weird calling her Sherry because I wasn't allowed to do so. But my channel is all about ways to make money and doing that through the digital era. So if you have whatever you're watching us from right now, whether that be your phone, whether you're on your computer, your laptop, your iPad, you have a device in your hand that you can make money from. And it's not complicated. There are many ways that are very simple. Whatever you do in life, you have to put some dedication in, you have to learn about it, you have to work with it, but I can help you do all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my YouTube channel in the comment section below. But if you type in my name, Diamond Chanel, and the Chanel is like Coco Chanel, so Diamond Chanel, you'll be able to find my channel.
And I tagged your people, they're in here too. So I always tag your channel online. And matter of fact, drop my information for your people, because we broadcast on Saturday night on both of our platforms. So hello, money makers. I want to say hello to you guys. So, one of the things that we want to talk about, the reason why to making money, why I bring Diamond in, because even in our elite credit system group, you guys, a lot of people, even you in the chat, your real issue is that you need more cash flow. Let's be honest. I never said one person that said, I just woke up and I wanted to mess my credit up today. I said, that's it. Nobody does that. Either a life event, they get sick, and it's people that really are high professionals and could be, engineer, doctors, and if you get sick, you just cannot work. So we want to talk and help you also maintain your credit once you clean it up, or if you're behind in your payments and debt, how to make some cash flow. So it goes hand in hand, you guys. So this is why Diamond is here, and we're bringing both channels together for this Saturday night. And on her side, you guys who's looking to make money, it's so much easier to get access to funds if you have good credit, So Diamond, you got something to add to that talking point, even with your people with funding?
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to say that, well, when it comes to, so I have some people that are just looking for a side income, or they're just looking for remote jobs, which are heavily available here online. So instead of you going out and you getting a second job, or something that where you have to exert so much time and so much effort into. There are ways that you could work directly from home. And I know that I have an audience that are mostly women, and there's so many reasons why women would want to work from home. Whether you have children, you can't just pick up a second, third job. You have to be at home. And so I try to show you ways that give you the flexibility to do that. But on the other side, my heart is really talking about entrepreneurship and talking about business. And when it comes to those things, people have so many great ideas, but the problem is they don't have the money to fund their ideas, and they don't know how to get started. And so even if you had if you had a side hustle coming in, or if you did a little bit of freelancing, if you were able to, which is what we're going to start talking about now, is business credit. If you were able to show a little bit of income and also improve your personal credit, you can get really large lines of funding. I mean, like $50,000, 60, 70, 50 to $100,000 in funding, which I'm sure you could use to start doing the business that you want to do, to start hiring some people. So I know a lot of people, you might not be good with graphic designing, website designing, all the things, social media. If you had that type of funding, you could pay someone to handle those things for you and to start getting your business off the ground. So that's what we want to talk about tonight.
And I love that you brought that up, because we're going to talk about actual strategies. And so one thing about it, you guys, even you don't need income right now in your business to get business funding. Like she's saying, me myself, I probably got over $100,000 worth of credit. She can attest to it, in business credit, business funding, in about 3 or 4 days. And so actually, as I announced for y'all at the beginning of the kickoff, we're having a seminar coming up on teaching you, even with bad credit, on how to get $50,000 in funding in 24 hours. And it's really possible if you put the strategy together. And there's, where you want to work this with a LLC, but you can do this, you guys, without establishing an LLC, getting business funding. So we want to talk about that, you guys. So this is why tonight we're going to talk about getting your credit up, and then you could take advantage of moving over to business funding. And on my channel, I do already have everybody that's talking about increasing their credit score. And another thing, don't think everybody had bad credit. Not on my channel. There's people that been here for a couple of months and their credit scores is up. Even the gentleman, it's a lot of people in my group. I had somebody today, 2 people, like they've been in there 3 months and bankruptcy is removed off of their credit report. So they might have one bureau left reporting a bankruptcy. And so now what you want to do is leverage those credit bureaus that's cleaned up. So I'm trying to help you, because I know people don't understand. They get trapped in a mindset. Like, my credit score is like low. This too shall pass. You can take care of that within months if you employ the right strategy. You know what I'm saying? And then while you're working on one bureau, you can be going for business funding and setting things up. But everybody have their own unique situation. But tonight I'm going to give you strategies that you can apply. Diamond, do you have anything to add?
No, well, the only thing I wanted to add was that yes, it's true. Like, everybody doesn't have bad credit. And even if you do have bad credit, your situation can change in a matter of months. But that's why we're talking about fixing your personal credit to get business credit, and also having streams of income to get ready for business credit. So I don't want people to start shutting off their mind and saying, like,
Yes.
that doesn't work for me because I'm not in that situation. That's why we're here. We're here to put you in that situation so that you can then obtain the goal.
And to add to that, some of y'all just need to make some tweaks in your credit score. Like, you really don't have bad credit. Like my people with high utilization, and you've been making those payments on time, your score is not bad. You just got to pay some balances down, to be honest. And you could be up there in the 700s. So that's what, like she's saying, don't get trapped in that mindset. Stop, even with people like with, I don't have time to make money. You just close yourself off with a negative thought. Just say, I'm going to see how I can structure my time, because the way we're talking about making money, you guys, you might start that way, but my way, diamond way, ultimately of making money is not exchanging time for money. No, 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 no. That's where you're losing. So you might start there, with that. But what we're talking about, you not exchanging your time for money. Because if you're seeing this, guys, some of y'all doing side hustles. This ain't the year just for side hustles. We want y'all to turn those into viable businesses, not just a side hustle anymore. Because when the reason why with the side hustle, y'all just thinking I'm hustling, and you're not expanding that where that can be a valuable business. So this is why we're talking about funding and kind of switching your mindset. And we're building a forum for community and conversation. A lot of y'all not around business minded people. That's why you're shut off. If you constantly watching the shade room, if you're constantly, I like Club Shay Shay, but if you're constantly watching Club Shay Shay with Cat Williams and what them over there doing, you're not, it's nothing wrong with that, but make an hour.
Yeah.
YouTube is free. You got a lot of good people. Can you please take an hour out of your time to start building your capacity for learning about other things? And
Yeah.
once you start hearing those conversations, you'll be able to make money.
Yeah. And I wanted to add something. I hope it's not too off topic, but going into, like, let's say I seen the Cat Williams interview, I seen the Monique interview, I seen the Taraji P, what she was saying, and all the connecting problems.
Mhm.
These are high paid employees. All their problems are coming from the simple fact that
Diamond, you froze. Can you Diamond, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Or maybe I froze. I want to make sure I'm not freezing.
Can you hear me?
You guys in the chat, let me know if we're freezing up. If you can drop it in the chat. Let me see. Maybe I'm freezing.
Ooh, can you hear me?
Give me a second, you guys. Okay. I hope our live is still here. Oh no, I can't. Maybe it's me freezing.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm frozen. Give me a second, guys.
They're saying they can. Oh, yeah, we're freezing a little bit. Well, if you guys can hear me, what I was saying was that and I hope it's not too off topic. We're going to get to the credit, and I want to say that we're also seeing all of your questions. So if you have any questions, I'm starring them right now, and we're going to come back to them towards the end of towards the end of the live. But just speaking on the topic of making money, and even talking about all the distractions. If you guys been watching the things that's been going on in the media, a lot of what is happening is coming from the fact that these people, even though they are famous, are high paid employees, and they're having issues with being a high paid employee and contracts and things of that nature. But if they had their own business, a lot of these things wouldn't be happening. We had a conversation about the Kardashians during the first live. And one thing that we could say about the Kardashians is that they are not high paid employees. They are business owners. And so we don't hear about the contractual issues that they're having or being blackballed, because when you have your own products and you're controlling your own money, you don't have those types of issues. So that's what I try to teach people on my channel. So even if there's something that you are currently doing as an employee, if they're paying you to do it, it's because it's a valuable skill to have. So whatever you're doing, you're able to do that on your own. You're able to do that. What if you have an LLC and you never used it in real estate? Well, if you have one thing about an LLC that people tend to do is they tend to get an LLC without actually having a business plan and figuring out what am I going to do to actually make money. The LLC is to cover your assets. If you don't have any assets, what are we covering, right? So if you're looking to start to make money and to start up your business, you can absolutely simply file as a sole proprietor in the beginning, and while you're learning and while you're doing your marketing, while you're trying to get customers to your products, whether it's in real estate or whatever the case is, you can file as a sole proprietor first. And when you start making money and you start having an asset to protect, that's when we want to get an LLC, because now we have an asset to protect. If you're not generating any money, you don't have an asset to protect. So instead of you putting down, it depends if you're going through other filings or you're using somebody else to help file for your LLC, you're looking to pay $200 to $500. That's money that could be going towards your business, because you don't need that LLC right now if there's no money coming into the business. So I hope that that answers the question about that. And if you guys give me 1 second, I'm trying to figure out what happened with Sherry and to get her back into the live. Just give me 1 moment, y'all. Ooh, okay, so she's going to try to come back in. But yes, if you guys can hear me, please let me know in the chat now. Skincare line, dance studio, and real estate Airbnb. I'm looking to clear up my personal credit for Bybit. Right, so that's something that we're going to be talking about tonight, is how to clear up your personal credit so that we can get you ready for some business funding. And like my mom said, she's able to actually get, excuse me, y'all, about $100,000 in business funding in 72 hours. And now she's going to explain this a little bit more. But one thing about it is, when you're applying for business credit, they're looking to see your projected income. So it doesn't even have to be what you're making in your business, but what you are estimated to make in your business. So if you feel like your business has the potential to make 6 figures within the year, you can put that down and get funding for that. Excuse me, y'all, I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, when it comes to me, if you want to talk to me, I'm going to leave my email in the chat. Oh, yeah, we a mess today. I'm sorry. I'm going to be leaving my email in the chat so we can talk about some different ways to get your business going, even if it's with bare minimum money. And so we're going to be doing that. And I'm going to be starring your questions so we could get back to those questions as well. You said, can you open up the share to another page? Oh, okay. Matter of fact, when my mom comes back in, she'll have to do that because it's her StreamYard. So I'm going to see how to do that so you guys are able to share. All right, y'all. So yeah, so that's what it comes to when it comes to making money. So things that I talk about on my channel are different ways that you can get that funding. So I talk about different things that are really low barriers to entry. Like, for an example, a lot of people focus on the implementation portion, right? So that's where you're working. So let's say with the dance studio, for an example, because I've seen someone say something about a dance studio. Where you have to make your money is actually being in the studio and teaching people the dances, right? So that's still, even if you're doing that independently, you still have to put X amount of hours in before you can get X amount of dollars, right? So it's almost like you're still an employee to your own business.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I was just, let me finish my point and then
All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
so where you're still an employee to your own business. So what I teach you how to do is, even though implementation of it is powerful, the knowledge that you have is powerful as well. So if you have a dance studio, start teaching other people how you obtain that dance studio. You can start doing that through what I like to teach about is digital products. So an ebook, or even now podcasts are really big.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a simple digital download. We've been in business for about 4 years, maybe over 4 years now, and we've had simply a digital product, and it has totally been very successful for the last 4 years, simply selling what was created off of a uh, Microsoft Word document and spreadsheets and things of that nature. So even teaching people how you got to where you are is better than nothing. Like, I had a lady that had a cleaning business that I was consulting with, and she was talking about how she's only had a few clients in a cleaning business, but she's had people ask her, how do I start my cleaning business? And she's like, well, I'm not successful, I can't tell you that. I'm like, if you made $1 in it, that's more than what other people have made in it. So if you were able to make money in any fashion, start selling your knowledge. But that's all I had to say. So I'm glad Sherry is back.
Thank you for holding it down. I'm sorry, y'all. My internet just gave out. My internet itself, my whole connection. So I'm on my cell phone right now. So I'm gonna follow up. We're gonna get to hopefully my connection hold up because I'm on Javier's Wi-Fi instead of my office. So what we're going to talk about with those steps to get you those 80 points, I'm going to give you those strategies so you guys can improve your credit score. So number one, for these strategies to work for you, if you have a collection or a charge off or an account that is behind and it's reporting late every month, you have to stop that from taking place, because what happens is that keeps your credit score down. So you want to make sure that you dispute, you have to stop that, because as long as that negative item is hitting you every single month, your score is going to stay down, and it takes 90 days after that happened for your score to go up. So keep that in mind. And if you need help, Diamond Drop the Elite Credit System. If y'all need my help in coaching and the AI system, you can do that. Make sure if y'all join, because with the coaching, we don't want to delay your time. So watch the introductory videos. We're going to send you a list. It's only 5 minutes, but this is going to help you guys fast track your progress. Okay, so that's number one. So make sure for these steps to help you. So the number one thing you can do to increase your credit score by 80 points, of course, is removing negative items. So if you have a collection or a charge off, depending where your credit score is, that is costing you from 15 all the way up to 25 points per charge off, per collection. Okay, so and if it's dinging you every month, that's costing you, it could be holding your credit score down by 50 points, because it's updating as a new negative item. And that's illegal for charge-offs to do. Collections to do, because once it's charged off, it's in collection, there's no scheduled payment date. So if you see CO or CC, they're doing that every month as a credit terrorism. So, because they know if they stop that, your score starts to go up. So, one of the obvious things is removing negative items, but the easiest thing to remove to increase your credit score that are negative is hard inquiries that are not attached to open accounts. Okay, so those things y'all can target very easily, and they're costing you 3 to 5 points each. Each a hard pull. So for some of y'all that went to get a car and they just shotgun your credit, understand they need permissible purpose. Each lender that pulled your credit report. So if you have that, I seen people that had like 20 on their credit report. And so you just times that by 3 points, you just lost a bunch of points on your credit score. And generally, people that join my group in that first month, they can successfully get those hard inquiries off. That's an easier thing, because for banks to actually pull your credit report, they need your signature. You have to give them permission, and a lot of this stuff is done online. So it's very hard for them to prove that permissible purpose, that you gave them your okay to remove that. So that's a quick way to get those points. So keep that in mind. And I'm using that as the first step, because inquiries come into play for the next steps that I'm going to include. So, number two, I always say, like, some of y'all got good credit, you're in the 700s. Instead of adding more credit lines or going for personal credit, if you're say you're about 29% on your utilization, now optimally you want to be between 1 to 10, but you can get it done sometimes with 29% or 20% and lower. Some of you guys already got big credit lines, so that 20%, you might already have a $30,000 or 40 $25,000 net credit card, like all my people with Navy Federal. So you might be riding that card and it's around 20%, but you still have a large line left on your credit cards. Start moving over to business credit. And like I said, we've been saying, you don't necessarily need to make money. If you got a good credit score right now, you can leverage that to get a business credit card. And now you want to go to certain banks. Now we don't want, not Capital One, not Discover, like the Discover part of Spark. You don't want credit cards on the business side to report to your personal, because some, and that's like Capital One have that. And like I said, Discover, you want to stay away from that. Chase, more American Express, um, Bank of America, PNC Bank, a lot of credit unions, Navy Federal, they won't report that business credit card to your personal credit report. And so what you can do, if you have balances, you guys, look and get those 0% interest cards with a balance transfer. Okay. So you can now transfer your balances off of your personal side onto that business side. Now, you're not going to sit there and like wreck your business credit score. Okay. So we want to pay it. Like, we're not talking about you just, you know, I'm just going to ditch it. No, that's not what we're saying. But what you can do is carry that balance over there and make payments. And it's a little better, actually. You want to carry some balances on your business side and pay it responsibly. Okay, now it's a difference. What you're going to go for is revolving credit cards, because you guys do know it's a difference between a revolving credit card and a charge card. So American Express, the platinum, the gold, the green card, the plum card, those are charge cards. So you have to pay those balances off in that 30 days completely. But with American Express, they do have credit cards that you can get on the business side, like the Blue Plus, Business Plus card, the Blue Cash card. And those right now have 0% interest. Now, those don't give you balance transfers, but banks like Bank of America have balance transfer cards with 0% interest. There's a couple of business credit cards that's out there, and you want the ones that you can transfer your balance. Okay. Sometimes American Express will have that, but you want to balance your transfer, transfer the balance on that credit card. Now, there is ways that you can sometimes liquidate those cards. There's strategies. So if you want to do that without a cash advance fee on that card, but you can pull the money off of that business card, now pay off your personal card, and you can kind of transfer it that way. But that might be, that we, like I said, I'm having this business credit. Diamond, did you drop that seminar down there? So if y'all want to sign up for that, I won't murk up that, because business credit, you guys, is different from personal credit on how you leverage. But the reason why you want to do that is because if you now start moving to business credit, it keeps your personal credit good. You don't have those balances, and you are forced to pay off that credit card all the time to maintain that credit score, because you're carrying the balance. If you don't know, utilization, debt to available credit, is the second largest chunk. And that's what a lot of y'all are dealing with, is those balances. By using business credit, you can hide that utilization, and now you can get more available credit. Because one thing that comes into play when you even PG and personal guarantee, and they pull your personal credit, you can remove that hard inquiry. Because unlike with your personal, there's an account now reporting on your credit report connecting to that credit card. It's not going to be that way on the business side. You won't see it. So that way it won't. And somebody said, won't you lose points by closing old accounts in good standing? Nobody is telling you to close an account in good standing. You're keeping your personal credit card open. You're just moving the balances over to a business credit card to hide the balance. So no, we don't ever want to close that. Okay. And somebody said, I have the revenue line of credit for $5,000. You must be making some good money. Jesus love you, because you're really in business. Revenue, you have to make a certain amount of money in order to have that revenue card. So this is why you guys want to do that strategy. And now, if you have something going on, you can put it on that business card. If get in a situation, you like, I got to do some things. I want to carry a balance. I use myself. I'm a landlord. So I have a business card over there. I had to have some work done to a unit. So instead of using my personal credit card, put it on the business card for that particular unit. I'll break them down for a property in an LLC, get a business card. And so now it's separating my personal from my business, and I can carry a balance on that card. So now with my contractor, they go to Home Depot, they're getting a business account, and the business department call me when he get the materials. I give them my credit card number, and now they're putting that on my credit card instead of me paying for materials out of my pocket. Now, when the unit is rented and I'm getting rent, now I can start paying down that card. And this card for 12 months is 0% interest. So I'm getting pretty much a loan on that without paying interest and coming out of my pocket. So you want to do that process of it. And somebody asked the question, do you need an LLC to get business credit? No. No, you don't. And that's the beautiful part. So that's what I'm saying. You guys don't, if your credit is good, you ain't even really got to be making money. Like the gentleman with revenue, the standards for that, he's really making money, but you can still get business credit cards and business funding with a startup. Okay. So that's why we're talking about that. So that's number 2, is very important. Diamond, drop that again for them if people are interested. But you can build business credit too, you guys, even with bad credit. So you want to start, like I told y'all earlier before I blacked out. There's people that's cleaning up their credit score in my group, and as you clean that one profile off, if it you we have people that their Equifax is clean, so now they're gonna leverage that. They're up in the 700s. Find banks that pull from that bureau to get business credit on that one, on that work with that one bureau. So you can do this all in strategy. Diamond, you have anything to add or you want to interject?
Not as of right now.
Okay. Um, number three, and you want to pay down your credit cards, that can get y'all those 80 points. Utilization, like I said, is 30% of your credit score, and it fluctuates every month. So if you're not paying that card down and carrying a higher balance from the prior month, expect your score to go down. Now, if you want your score to go back up, you got to pay it down before or on that payment due date. I tell y'all that. So that due date on your statement, there's no interest. You have a grace period until that time. But like I tell y'all, if you pay your card down, don't use that card, because after that is the report date. That's when the credit card companies report your balances to the credit bureaus, and that's what shows up on your credit report. And if you miss that timing, now it's frozen, that utilization, because card companies can only report once a month for the next 30 days. Going back to why you use business credit, you don't have those problems. But if you're doing that, you're going to see your score fluctuate. And if you don't have the cash flow to pay that card completely off, then you're going to see your scores go up and down. Now, understand, all is not lost if that happened to you, because keep in mind, you got different credit cards and all of them don't have the same due date. So one might be in the first of the month due. You might have one due around the 10th. So if you miss that first card payment due date, then focus on your second card that's about to report. Because sometimes you might have not had it the way yours, maybe the way your your paycheck is hitting on that, so you might not be able to do that like that. So then you can aim for the next that you have in line to pay that down, to still get those points. In our elite credit system with smart credit, we use score boost, and it will tell you right there what date you need to pay your card, and you can play with it, how many points you're going to get by what payment you make. So you can kind of gauge that. But I'm telling you guys, for the long run, not to go through that right ways, you want to start moving over to business credit. So that's number three, because by doing that, I've seen people increase their credit score over 100 points. Their utilization was just all jacked up. So another thing, y'all, I want y'all to know about that utilization. Some y'all utilization is intact, but you're using a small little baby credit line. And I asked the lady, like, why are you doing this? You got open big credit lines. Stray away from that. Y'all, if y'all get bigger credit lines, discontinue using your small cards, because sometimes you just like, I ain't know that. That's what the lady said. I didn't know. I put that on there and you didn't pay it off. And it's real easy to have that 300 credit card being close to max out. So if you want to keep that account open, because a lot of those are your credit builder cards, so they might have your longest history, just attach a little Netflix account to that, or a subscription, so it keeps that account active and open. And then set, in the system that the minimum payment is always due on that card, and you can avoid that. All right. Yeah. When you have one credit card account over like 60 or 70%, even if your other lines are clear, and that overall utilization might even say 20%, y'all, it will jack your credit score up and you don't know why. So be aware of that. Another thing, be aware of furniture accounts, y'all. If you go and get furniture, I had a man with that same situation and didn't realize. You go to Ashley Furniture. Back in the day, they used to give you an installment account. Now those are credit card lines. So if they tell you, hey, you got a $4,000 of a line, or where you can get furniture, but people don't understand, because I even talked to somebody in there. I was like, is this a credit card? And she was like, yeah, it's a line of credit. I said, girl, I would tank my credit score by using this whole line. So if you don't know that, you might think, oh, let me go in here and get $4,000. They approved me for $4,000. You'll find out your credit score tanked and you don't know why, because you maxed out that line of credit. So sometimes if y'all in that situation, tell them that and say, hey, I don't want to max out my credit card, but I want to buy this furniture. They'll go back to the lender and they might double that credit line. And that's going to increase your credit score. So just keep those little things in mind. So with paying down your credit card. Now pay attention to these, because I'm going to get into some more high level strategies. Okay. Those might have been something you already know. Now, the second thing for my people, all of y'all can do this. If you done paid down your credit cards and everything is in check, the fourth thing you can do is ask for credit card increases on your current credit card. Because if you can get that credit line increase, then that's going to help your utilization and you'll see your score go up. Okay. And then it's for my people that's over an 800 credit score. You're not messing with your age of credit by putting on a new account, but you only want to do your credit card accounts with a soft pull to give you those credit card line increases. Like Discover would do that. Chase would do that. American Express, and there's some others that would do that. But make sure, like Navy Fed. But most of the time, if you call on some of those, I think even Synchrony. Now, if you ask with Synchrony before the first 6 months, or it could be 3 months in there, so I think it's 6 months, they'll give you a hard pull, but thereafter they won't. So just verify that, because in some of them with a window of time, if you ask for more, they're gonna automatically give you a hard pull. So you only want those that's it's a soft pull to get that credit line increase. Going on, choose the cards that your credit bureaus are clean, because some of you guys might only have a collection on Equifax. So if you got a Truist card, a credit card, and you got on your Equifax, then don't ask Truist. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna see that collection and deny you that increase. But if your Experian is not showing that that's clean, and your TransUnion is clean, go with your credit card companies that pull from there. So using the example again, Chase gonna pull for either Experian or TransUnion, and it's a soft pull to ask for a credit card increase. So go there. Discover is going to be Experian. So go for Discover. Navy Federal is going to check if you do it in the app with TransUnion, so on and so on. So you might have to look at your credit cards and you strategize it that way. Okay. Also, when you ask for that increase, remember what I just said. Pay down your credit card and let it report. Okay. Or if your card is paid down already and you like, I can't pay this month, hurry up and ask for it before that new utilization or balance report. Then you need to bust a move right now, because like, I ain't got the money, that didn't report yet. Well, you go for your inquiry, go for your increase right now. Hurry up and do it before that card report with the new balances. So that's a strategy. Diamond, you have anything to add or any question?
Not
Okay. So if everybody is good with that strategy, you can do that. And that's not a new hard inquiry if you go for the cards that pull. Now, one caveat, um, a lot of people have Capital One. Capital One will do a soft pull primarily if you do it in the app. But here's the thing, Capital One pull all three credit reports a lot of times. So if you have something negative on, one of the three, they do pull and check all three. So you might want to stray away from them if you have something, negative on all three. So just focus and use that strategy. And so number 5, the strategy, if you're a person under a 700 credit score, I always tell you guys, adding a new credit card line, a line of credit, can increase your credit score by 50 points on average. Now, the thing is, yes, the inquiry is probably going to cost you about 3 points, but with if you get approved for that credit card, then you're still up by 48 points, okay, on average. So you can use that to boost your credit scores. But keep in mind, if you got negatives already on your credit report going back, you want to go for cards that's going to accept you with where your credit score is, your credit profile is now. So if you just got a charge off 3 months ago, you probably don't need to run over to Chase. You darn sure don't need to run over to Chase, okay? Because they're gonna say no. You know what? If you got good credit, if you don't have any negatives, but you don't have 5 new credit card accounts in 2 years, you don't need to go to Chase neither. I don't care if you got an 850 credit score, because with Chase, their underwriting rules, they don't care. It's a no. Discover, if you just got a Discover card, Discover require you got to wait a year before you can get another card. So if you just got a card 7 months ago and you like, well, I'm going to go to Discover to get that card, they're going to be a hard no. Okay, because there's things called underwriting rules. So you want to know those little nuances so you don't be denied. Now, the way to open you up for a better chance is look for cards with soft pull pre-qualification. So for this example, Discover have a soft pull pre-qualification. If you guys been disputing with the elite credit system and say you got that item off of off of Experian, right? That collection. Maybe you're sitting on TransUnion and Equifax. Go see if you can pre-qualify with Discover. They're pretty good. If they're showing you you're approved, from my experience, it's pretty much a go with them. But if you have a collection, they're pretty much not going to give you that pre-qualification. You can go to American Express, you guys. It doesn't harm you. American Express will let you know if you're not a customer of them. They'll now let you know whether or not they approve you before hard inquiry. Okay. They'll let you know you're approved for this card. Now, if you take that card, it's a hard inquiry, but they pretty much is guaranteeing you a yes before a hard inquiry is created. So you can go to American Express, and a lot of people think you need a real high credit score for American Express. You really don't. If you're going for the easiest cards to get with American Express, is going to be what is that? The Delta uh, uh cards is like the co-branded cards with Delta, the ones on their website. Now, keep in mind, people think the American Express card with Navy Fed is American Express. It's not. They just use that as a processor, but it's not really American Express card. But co-branded cards that are like the Delta, the gold Delta card with them, that's easier to get. Sometimes the charge cards, like the green charge card, is easier to get. You might can get those credit cards with a 640 credit score. Okay, so a lot of times those might be easier to get, but keep in mind they're going to pull from TransUnion or Experian. I rarely saw anybody that they pull from Equifax. So if you're currently, here's a gem, if you don't know, if you're currently an American Express customer, they will approve you for a credit card without a hard inquiry, soft pull only. Okay. So, in order to go that route, you first got to log into your account. Log into your account and then go to the credit card section, and you'll see they'll say this is your card, so you'll know that you're in there, your current card, and you can apply for that card there, and it won't be a hard pull at all. They'll do it soft pull. That's for business cards and personal if you're already in their ecosystem. So that's another way that you can work that to get that extra card. And if you're under that 700 credit score and using that American Express hack or route, y'all wouldn't get that hard inquiry to bring your credit score down by 3 points if you're under that 700 credit score. Now, if you're over that 700 credit score, y'all don't do that, because any new line of credit messes with your age of credit, and that's very important when you over a 700 credit score. So you can use that step, adding on a new credit line. If you're under a 700 credit score, it'll increase your credit score. Diamond, do you have anything to interject?
We just had a couple of questions when it comes to credit cards, if you're open to answer them at this moment.
Well,
So
let me go through my list and I'll come back. Storm, so I won't. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna just go through this list real fast. I got 7, so we at number 5. So we only got 2 more. Number 6. What you could do is add on a trade line, you guys. And when I say a trade line, you can add on, like, now this is going to be more or less what I'm saying, like a Stellify, um those trade lines that don't, you can get approved without a hard inquiry. So those, they won't affect your credit score like that. But that's going to be for my people under a 700 credit score. And what I'm just suggesting, you guys, if you're a person with pretty decent credit, that might not be the route for you. You might be better off by getting a line of credit you can really use. That's a good credit, that's a good segue for someone, who might not can be approved for much because their credit score might be lower. So another thing too, I forgot to ask with the last one, what y'all can do is to the Apple card, they'll pretty much approve you around a 600 credit score. I've seen people get approved, and they'll show you your pre-qualified limit beforehand, before you even take that card. So you can even use that by adding that extra line of credit. That's another one. And for you guys that need to add on a trade line, if your credit score is lower, the Apple card might be that way. But with adding trade lines, you don't want to go crazy with a bunch of trade lines. It's just to give you that boost to get you to a better credit score in a credit position to get your score higher for a better credit card. But you can use that and it won't cause that hard inquiry. Now, this will not work for my people with over that 800 credit score. You don't want to go that route with a new trade line, because like I said, any new credit line can bring your score down. All right. um and here's another thing I want to add. I should have said with the last strategy of adding a new, no, you know what, I'm going to add it in this next one. So the last one, so we're at the last one. I'm going to add this one. So number 7, authorized users accounts piggybacking. Okay, this is going to work with my people with that 800, with over that 700 credit score. Y'all can use this strategy, and people under that. Being added on as an authorized user will help your age of credit. Now, you piggyback on somebody good credit history. But for my people who's over that 700 credit score, you need more age on yours, because you don't want somebody who just got a new credit card to add on to theirs. Okay. Even though that route is no hard inquiry most of the time, but if that credit line is too young in age, it could kind of affect your credit score in a negative way because it looked like a new account. You want somebody with, like, I say best 10 years and better. For everybody, it's going to be optimal. But for those who under that 700 credit score, even if it's a little newer, it doesn't affect you as much because age of credit is not as important. So you can piggyback on somebody else's credit card account and inherit their good history and inherit their good utilization. But always remember, their utilization on that card needs to be under 30%, because, and they don't need any late payments because you're going to inherit the negatives too. So that's a way. Now, the strategy I wanted to interject with this, if you guys, I have mentioned this before, if you're trying to increase your credit score, my husband was in the military, they'll tell you about a battle buddy. Why don't you find a credit battle buddy? Maybe 3 of y'all. So you make a pact on building y'all credit together at the same time, just like with losing weight. You work together. So when that person, if you're under that 700 credit score, y'all all applying for credit cards to increase your credit score because your credit is improving. Say Diane, she get a credit card, then she add Amber onto that card. Okay. And then Amber get a card, she add Diane to her card. Now you got 2 trade lines reporting to help increase your credit score. And somebody, both of y'all are not getting a hard inquiry by doing that. It's even better if you have a third person and y'all can use that strategy so you can see your score go up. The key is you let one report and then add the other one on, have that other person. But if you get 3 people together, y'all can leverage each one of y'all, get a new credit card and add each other as authorized users. You can really maximize, because let's say Discover, or even American Express, you can add up to 5 authorized user accounts. Or Discover, you can add up to 4 or 5 people. So all 3 of the other 2 could be added onto your card. So you can use that strategy, y'all, and that can increase your credit score. So those are my 7 strategies, just to help you take some actionable steps to increase your credit score. Diamond, all right. You have anything to interject, or we can
No,
answer questions?
no, not as of yet, but we do have some questions.
Okay.
I seen a good question asking how many credit cards should a person have?
Oh, you need at bare minimum 6 revolving lines of credit, or
Oh,
you consider a thin credit profile. Now, if you're moving over to that business credit, you might can get it done with 4 years. I mean, 4 card, but keep in mind, you're going to have, for that business side, you need some age on your account, like your own personal trade line. That's going to be very important for business credit if you're trying to do that. And you do need like a $5,000 uh primary trade line just at the beginning. People say that, but honestly, with that business credit, they want the average of all your cards to be over your average over $5,000. So those are the things that you might want to know. But if you're just on the personal side, pretty much, they want to see that you manage at least about 6. Anything under 5 revolving credit card lines, you kind of look like it's considered a riskier credit profile. Okay.
the next question we had from Lavette, she asks, I'm guessing she's asking which is more important, a credit score or the credit history?
um the credit score or the credit history, It's okay. It all depends on how your factors line up. Credit score is still going to be important because most of what dictate your credit score is your history. You know what I'm saying? That's what's causing a lower credit score is your history. So it depends too, really what you're going for. Okay, so let's say certain things like business credit, if you're going for that, it's a higher standard of what they're looking for compared to a car loan. You know, you can maybe get a car loan really easily, and you might not need a stellar credit score, every a stellar long history, you know. So it depends on what you're going for. Even with a house, people really think you got to have a real high credit score with a house. You really do not have to have an extremely high credit score for a house, especially if you're going through FHA. That is like a misnomer. You just have to have like three legs on that: the income, the savings for the down payment. But you can get a home with, you know, technically under FHA, a 500 credit score. But what it is, the banks have their own overlays under over this programs. So when it comes to lending, where that's going to judge y'all the credit score is the underwriting rules of that bank. Like I said earlier, Chase don't give a darn if you got a set at 850 credit score. If you got more than 5 new credit card accounts in 2 years, they don't give a what. It's a no. Like they don't care. So they don't care how your credit, they don't care if you got a home and you got this and that. You just got too many new credit card accounts in that 2 years. So it depends on what. No, Big Mike, is actually by the government rules. FHA is 5, it's really 500 for the government program. But most banks, and I'll repeat, each bank put their own overlay on that, on what they will, because when it comes to home loans, FHA and things like that, the government is just guaranteeing that program for, like, if the bank ever, if that person defaults, they're just saying we got it, we'll cover their default. So with the government, they'll take a lower credit score, like that is 500, because it's designed to make homeowners. But what the banks is saying, we're not comfortable with taking that risk. So maybe when you go to Chase, for their FHA standards, it ain't no 640. They might say we ain't rock. Wells Fargo was good for that. No, we ain't going. If you ain't got 700, we ain't hearing it. Or 680, we're not rocking with you. We don't care. So it depends on the lenders. So that's what I'm saying too, y'all. Y'all have to understand it depends on that bank underwriting standards. So, you know, this is where, that's why I said this is a good forum where we're making a community, because some of y'all, I'll be honest, some of these people that talk about building credit, they don't talk about the details. Like, you know, and I think they just don't know. I came out of the banking system. So when I tell y'all, and I want to drop a video on that, when I'm telling y'all about the field inspections, that's what y'all doing for field inspections. I don't know if y'all grasp that. You're working for the banks getting this data on how they're approving people. That's why I know, because they're sending you out and you're getting that data. Let me give y'all another gem. I'm about to drop a bomb on you. Y'all just don't know, because a lot of y'all ain't tuned in when I said the banks with racism. Oh, y'all not paying attention. This is why a lot of people, well, these people on YouTube say the same thing, because when y'all don't tune in for the real game. Y'all want the sugar, the bubble gum pop, when somebody really giving you a plate with the meat. Y'all not trying to eat all of that. You know, that's part of what you want to digest. A lot of y'all, if y'all don't know and y'all learn on this business side, your address jacking y'all up. A lot of y'all address jacking you up. I don't care if you got an 850 credit score. I don't care if you got an 850 credit score. You in a certain zip code, that dude over there in the middle class area with the 640 could be getting way more than you. Y'all just don't know. If y'all knew, um, oh, your zip. Big Mike says zip code mean what it mean is sometimes redlining. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay, what the way the banks work. I dare all of y'all to Google right now credit scores in New York. You're gonna see New York City, Experian pop up. What neighborhoods, and I think it was Queens, have the highest credit score on average. Because what y'all don't know, you're being judged by your neighborhood. They go on the average credit score and where you're living. Okay. So you can have an 850 credit score and you can have factors, but because you're in a low income area and the average credit score in the area you in is a 620, when they dish out that credit line, you might think, oh, I should get a $10,000. You might get that $4,000 credit line. And the dude in the middle class neighborhood with that 680 is getting 20 grand. I'm going to tell you the truth. So a lot of y'all, let me get controversial with you. Y'all better get ready because somebody about to hate me and sign off. Somebody about to hate me. When it comes to that migrant crisis and people dumping people with no income in your neighborhood, it's jacking you up. Because now, what do you think that happened to your average credit score with people that got a ton of people that got a zero on their credit score? What do you think that happened to you? That's all I'm just saying. I'm just being real. And people get mad because I had somebody got mad at the last one. I dropped when I told the truth on these 15-minute cities that people are talking about and these corporate, how they building this corporate plantations for y'all. People get upset because what they don't understand, red or blue, they ain't for you. Even with that, that was bipartisan. Both sides, it's political theater. And so if you're that brainwashed that you can't look at policy over playing team sports, baby, you better understand these people jacking you up. Okay. And you better get yours and you better pay attention. This is why I'm giving you details of the game. I'm not saying just to focus on that, but when I'm trying to tell you how to get around, to understand how to credit game. And I had a lady got mad when I talked about that like a year ago. Oh, it ain't no racism. Yeah, how would they know your race? Your address and your social security number, boo. First of all, if you really knew, in your social security number, it tells of where you were born and what state and where you were born at, those digits. So it goes deeper than that. I work in insurance. I worked in the background. You're being judged. If you got a bunch of people with no license in your neighborhood having accidents, your insurance is going to go up. Yeah, it's like I'm just keeping it real with you. And some people get triggered because they sitting up there want to pom somebody who's a detrimental to your income on both sides. So that's not helping you. And let me really get at you. Dr. Martin Luther King, that march on Washington was for the same thing you seeing right now, honey. Everybody else, Europeans, was given an economic floor where they came in here and they were able to get land. Land, if you watch Westerns, they went and got land for free. Oh, if you were Black, you could not participate in that. They fought in wars and they were given land grants. Diamond to tell you, that's how we got land acres because of European ancestry. Thank God they left us some acres. So we down with it. But the same Black people that fought in the war in 1812, they got nothing. And they gave them thousands of acres of land in Alabama. And they all got land grants, schools to teach them how to farm, and they was given USDA loans, low interest loans to mechanize those same farms. Black people been fighting since the inception of this country, and you ain't getting nothing but pick yourself up by the bootstraps. So all I'm just telling you, that's how the game is going. Okay. So they're not telling you that it's a lie. People ain't stealing your resources. That is a lie. That is a lie. The banks don't give unlimited home loans in a particular area. They call themselves mitigating their risk. So in this zip code, and then they'll sit up there and lie, oh, y'all don't develop your own community because we can't get lending. They won't. I'm going to tell you, my parents, same thing, wanted to buy a 6 family in Newark in their neighborhood. They had good credit. They had the funds. The banks wouldn't give them a loan. They would not give them a loan. They had to pull out their own money, leverage their home to buy it cash because the banks was redlining. And that was like in 89. So what they're not telling you, even with SBA loans, when they talk about, oh, you can get an SBA loan, you have to have tax returns, experience, and they're not going to give you that for speculatory. So say if you say this neighborhood is going to go up if I invest in this neighborhood, they're not giving you off of that. They're going off of what it is now. And most of those loans from the SBA, micro loans, it's only like $13,000 on average. You can't build no business like that. That ain't no money. So when I'm just telling y'all, it's a lot of this undercurrent if you don't understand. No, it's so when they said what with the score in this and this is where I'm trying to tell you, it's other factors working there. And sometimes this is why people get virtual addresses to apply over there. This is why some of y'all already know I live in a certain neighborhood. Let me use my cousin address in a better neighborhood. You already know these things. Y'all know these things. This is why you're doing that. But the more low income come in, no income, it drives your property value down. And it's not Sherry just being funny. I'm just telling you the truth. This is how banks judge you. I'm telling, because if y'all start to do those inspections, those are the reports that you're filling out. This is what they asking you. What is the rental value? What is this? All of y'all that are homeowners, lie to me not. Do your insurance company call you every year that an inspector going to come out? They do this all the time. All you business owners know that. Y'all know that because you get that call. They get this data. And so they already know. Mm-mm, we're not giving you this. The numbers of bankruptcies filed in your zip code affects your lending. I'm telling y'all. So this is what I'm saying. When people, is it my credit score? Is it my this and that? This is why y'all got to get this information to know where you standing, and you gotta work this game. You got to work this game. And when we're talking about even virtual addresses, come in for the thing because I got to break that down for you. If you're getting a virtual address, you better get it in a better zip code. Don't get it like I live over here and it's a type of virtual address. You want code space. You want a code space address because they on those PO boxes that y'all go and get. I'm gonna go to the mail. They look that up. They already know. And they inspect that address. Bingo. They send one of us out to inspect that address. So when they put it in, they already know that's what is that? Those post office boxes with an address. That ain't what you're going for. You know what I'm saying? And you want to go in a better zip code. You want to understand a business in an inner city on a certain zip code. Let's say New York City, Bronx have the lowest average income rate. You don't want to get nothing in that zip code. You better go to upper Manhattan and stuff like that. So you gotta. And somebody said, you said closed state address. No, I said I ain't saying nothing about closed state, but your state address play a different in your lending too. Honestly, if you have a higher credit score in a state, let's say by like Texas or whatever, and you got a higher credit score, and you'll get more lending because you sometimes is above average of that state average. But if you're in New York, you in Massachusetts, some of these are um higher with average credit score states. So like I said, you want to play the game the way you need to play the game. So I'll land my plane there. Diamond, you got something to add? You got something?
To agree with everything that you were saying, and you're the credit expert here, but I know when I'm looking at the things that's going on today, I am genuinely sorrowful and empathetic and afraid for majority of us, because what is going to happen, especially for us Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is going to be affected, but especially for us Black people, because we seem to be the ones that are taken out the way first, right? With the migrant crisis going on, and then on top of that, with AI coming in, and so you have
Mm-hmm.
a specific group of people that are coming in taking low level jobs, and people don't see that as a problem because they're like, well, they're low level jobs, but you also don't see that AI is taking over high level jobs. So when you don't have low level jobs, you don't have high level jobs, you're somewhere in the middle, but you're in the middle fighting with everybody else that's here. And so truly, if you don't get into entrepreneurship, if you don't have a product, I genuinely don't know what life is going to look like in the next 5 years for many people, for the average American citizen. It's very scary, because if you and the way I even look at, let's social media. Like when I tell people that I do social media full time, the first thing they ask is like, okay, but is there really any money in that? And for now, yes, there is. But I even look at this industry and say, whenever there were low barriers to entry, something happens where something gets over flooded, and things tend to come crashing down really quickly. So in this moment, if you have an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
online, you have to jump on it immediately. Genuinely, like I think about it, like in 5 years, I don't know what to tell people to do, because it's going to be a very bad situation. It really is going to be a very bad situation for Black people, especially, because it's always a bad situation for Black people, especially, and it seemed to only get worse. And so, but for the average American citizen, it's going to be a bad situation. I don't know what it's going to look like. So if you don't take advantage of these opportunities right now, I'm afraid for you, genuinely.
And another point to add with that, you guys, which y'all not seeing, and when it comes down to what we call Black people, Black Americans, what it is, you're already at the lowest point. This is going to affect all Americans pretty soon. But when you're already the highest in Chicago and already in New York City, you were the most homeless anyway. Like most of y'all in those homeless shelters, it is Black families. And now, even now, it's exacerbating the situation. And a lot of y'all have prior bills. You went to get student loan debt, a lot of Americans, to make a living. And if you're African American or Black or FBA, that you said your parents wasn't able to get a lot of opportunities with redlining. Somebody said, what about California? National Bank just got caught redlining against Latino communities and Black communities for one of the biggest lawsuits to right now, got caught redlining those communities. So people that been in those areas been barred out of home ownership. And so you couldn't get home loans. You're already behind the eight ball. Your parents don't have any wealth to help you out. So you say, hold on, I'm at zero. And I'm going to go and get in 100 grand of student loan debt just in hopes now with AI and people making what, 30 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? And got this student loan debt. You got somebody coming through the door that can get a job, getting
taken care of, getting a home, getting housing, getting health care. You get a collection for going for medical care, and they got it. If you don't have medical insurance, you being taxed. That's crazy. And it jacks your credit score up. And now I can't even get an apartment because I had to go to the doctor and somebody else coming in getting their food. Now getting debit cards, credit cards, getting $1,000. Now cash on a card, and you're getting the shaft with your money. At that, with your money. That is the craziest part. Instead of reading that. So if we're spending this much money, that means with the little 50,000 homeless we had in New York City, y'all could have cured the problem then. That's why they playing in your face. But when it come to your community, it ain't never enough money. Oh, we ain't got no money. Right? And they could just pull out money out of gazoo for this manufactured crisis. They doing this on purpose. Look, come on, let's just stop playing. We know they doing this on purpose. All right, it's election season, and some corporation is behind this. Okay, one of them is your government because they keep playing in your face. If you listen to what they saying, we short 11 million jobs. They need to tax somebody to keep their thing going. That's why they ain't forgive y'all those student loans. Y'all, come on. Student loans right now is the biggest money maker for the federal government. I'm telling y'all that it's a game. It's a game. And somebody said, can I remove student loans from? Yeah, you can remove them, but they know they there. You're still gonna go to the grave, unfortunately, with those student loans. That's how your government really have set you up in a bad way. That's why I tell you, you have to pay those student loans, because they're gonna chase you for that debt to your casket, unless you ain't worked for 3 years and can really show that you are disabled, and then they still want to send you that 1099-C possibly for that debt. So this is why I said it's layers to this, y'all. And it's just not just tapping in, doing, you need the whole strategy. Okay, have this is why I give y'all this information, so you know the nuances. It's just not starting a business with zip code we're going to use for our virtual office, and it's a way you need to do that too. Okay, you need to do that, because the more technology is getting, the banks is on it. All right, the banks is on it. Okay, so that's what I'm just trying to say, y'all. It's a lot of levels, and unfortunately for Americans, you don't have a clean slate, and you got people coming in, housing taken care of, clean slate, and now they can get a job. They can get more lending than you because they're here legally. So they get a TIN number. It's like a social security number, and they can get bank lending. If they don't lend to them, the banks, it's going to be, the banks can get sued for that. You cannot discriminate over somebody's status if they're here legally. So you are in that same community. They got nothing but income, but you got debt. You ain't getting as much lending because they don't own nothing. They get a couple credit cards on there. They pretty much good to go. You got student loan debt. You got all this other stuff. So I'm just giving you the truth. Don't get mad at me. Don't kill the messenger, because now the truth is the new hate speech, to be honest with you. The truth, people get mad, but it is what it is. Diamond, you have anything that add to that?
On the topic of student loans, I know that we're talking to a lot of people who already found themselves in a lot of student loan debt, so you're kind of already in that situation. But also those of you with children, because this is what we talk about a lot, not to allow your children to take on this student loan debt. And
Yes.
understand that it's a very volatile time that we're in, and taking on hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt that they basically almost could never wipe off without paying it off isn't a good move. So just to be mindful of those things, and just bringing that back to business and bringing it back to entrepreneurship, letting a lot of your kids know how to use the internet way better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And so telling them like, hey, why don't you work on something, create something, create a product, even if it's just something small, but getting them in the mindset of being able to create something that they can trade for, because coming down in their future, that might be the only way that they're able to make money is through trading. So really starting to think about creating something. So,
and you know what, Diamond? Let's just be totally transparent. If you don't create something right here and right now, your kids might not have the opportunity to.
it's true.
No, let's just stop playing, because AI is going to wipe out a lot of stuff. Okay. And people say, oh, these people work in low wage jobs and this, baby, AI about to replace you and your high wage job. If LegalZoom could replace lawyers,
And Zillow replaces real estate agents. It's just,
come on. And now they got robots that's going to do surgery.
Or you have, or even like the big boom was the tech industry. Now you have AI that can do that coding. And so that was.
Isn't Amazon trying to replace truck drivers?
Yeah. The robots
That's
are going to be there.
self-driving cars. So a lot of y'all, if y'all, this the last call for alcohol. If y'all don't get it, your kids might not have a chance to honestly get it. So the call is on you. I'll be honest. You might be the last stand, all right, for your family. And so, and somebody said AI is already replacing jobs at 5%, and is going to grow to 10% a year at 2020
And
2030.
faster than that, because remember when we were just maybe 10 years ago talking about the threat of self-checkouts taking over the industry. How many, look at Walmart's. Yes, it has done that, and it did it very swiftly. So you have to understand that technology is the biggest.
Can we talk about the bank? Girl, you can't even get a teller no more at the bank. You the teller. You be like trying to, can you help me with this? Let me take you over here to this ATM. Do you know about your phone app to make a deposit? Y'all, the teller, they getting rid of the server. Now they got the little kiosk right at your table.
Yeah.
All they got now is bust people to bust the table. And it's a lot of places don't even have servers.
Well, look at the fall of most big businesses that you thought would never fall. Look at Macy's, look at the malls, look at Toys R Us. Every single one of them have been replaced and made obsolete because of technology.
How about Blockbuster? They was offered to buy Netflix, and because they would not change, their doors closed.
Yep.
Their doors closed, y'all. Take your opportunity. I'm promising you. I know it's purposely, and we want to eliminate the side hustle mindset, because they already taxing you now. Why you think if you send more than $600 on Cash App, they want to give you a 1099? This is about taxation. What's really the real truth? The government make most of their money off of payroll taxes, you being a slave at a job. That is just what it is. This is why now, come in March, they're changing the standards of what is considered a 1099 employee, because they need in on that tax money. It's always when the regular masses is now participating in the gig economy, they are making out better. Now they want to come for that tax money, because you are now using the same laws that they use all the time. They mad at y'all for getting PPP loans, and they all of them up in Congress walked away with millions. Mitch McConnell, his company got millions. Nancy Pelosi, don't let these people play in your face. They're friends. They go. That's why Hillary Clinton was at Trump daughter wedding. Trump and Chelsea daughter is best friend. They all are. They all in the same game. What was that back in the day? We were all in the same game. I forgot, that was on the West Side. They all in the same game. And I keep telling y'all, they all got something in common. They rich. They go in broke like Obama, come out rich. All of them. AOC gonna go in broke, gonna come out a millionaire, because they all in the same game. They just work for different interest groups.
Mhm.
Okay. And until they take the money out of politics, it's going to be that way.
Yeah.
People, we need our own caucus. Ain't going to happen. They not going to do it. Okay. Because what rule them is money.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is why certain people that wear little hats, they got all the control. They don't care about their voting. Asians, they don't care about no Asians. Don't they got a crime bill passed, and they only make up like what 4%, 2% of the voting population?
Mhm.
Cause it ain't about voting. It's about money.
Mhm.
It's about money, y'all. No, I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to be funny or facetious. It's about money. And some people, you better not even call out their name on this internet. You gonna mess around and find out. You better not. Don't you even say anything adverse against me because they got the money. And this is even Asians with the Asian crime bill. Like, let's be honest, black people been sicked on by dogs, head beat to the white meat. Y'all done remixed old Negro spirituals. You know what I'm saying? Comment to remix it one day, and we still ain't there. Like, come on, like let's no for real. Come on, we done remix a old Negro spiritual, and we still not there yet. Everybody done got rights. Everybody off of your civil rights that was supposed to be particularly for you and what you suffered. Everybody done got it. Now, minority loans, it's more white women give the most minority loans, not you. That's when Dr. Clark Atkinson told y'all if it's for everybody, it's for nobody. He ain't never lied. He ain't never lied. Look up who got to get the most funding. I'm just saying, it's the truth. It is the truth. And it goes back to the same demographic anyway. And you got classes of every group. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everybody is not suffering this injustice. It is going to be everybody. It's really about elitism and classisms, all these isms. But I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all at the bottom, okay? You're the stepping stone of everybody. And now what they saying, you ain't picking yourself up by the why you ain't investing in your community? Because y'all won't give us money to invest. That's why you have urban blight. Why y'all always moving out of your community? I can't get a home loan in my darn going community. And so when you apply out there, I could get a home loan because they're approving those areas, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all the truth. If you want to hear the truth, I'm giving you the truth today, okay? And so that's your problem. And everybody, don't let nobody fool you. The American Indians got done the worst. Lies, they done got money and land. You done been done the worst. The Japanese, Chinese, when they put them in concentration camps with Pearl Harbor and all of that, they done got a bag. They got their money. They paid them. You done felt in every war since the inception of this country, and you get the speech. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Baby, we ain't had shoes. What bootstraps? We were slaves. We ain't had the luxury of shoes. What are you talking about? You got booted out, thrashed out, and then the truth of the matter, land in this country was free because the labor, and you had a debt on you, and you got killed less when you were a slave because it was a debt on you. And then when you Emancipation Proclamation come, the value go into the land. Left from the labor, it went into the land. That's why and you couldn't get land for free. Even in what they said, California, if you were black, you couldn't go out there in certain towns and stake your claim. It was barred for you. So don't let nobody play with you in your face. I'm just saying, I'm just telling the truth. People get mad, sign off, whatever. I don't need you anyway. Because if you don't want the truth, I'm going to tell you, I shoot for the hip, whether like it or love it. But I'm really coming from my heart for y'all best interest. Because if it was my best interest on a lot of stuff, I'm gonna tell you, I get a lot of offers. Y'all just don't know. I see why people get corrupt. Okay, it be some bags on the table to push certain things. It's a child bye. Child bye. Y'all don't, I wish y'all really don't know. Y'all really don't know. It's some bags on the table to push certain things, but we're about our name. We're about y'all. We're not gonna misrepresent. How many things that we had that been offers to push, and it don't look right. It don't look shit. No, I'm not. I'm not bringing that to people. I'm not doing that to people. So that's what I'm telling y'all. When with this so-called crisis is manufactured, yo, if the president, the prior president, put in an executive order to stop it, you telling me this one can't? Yes, they can do. He could. It's all it needs is a we don't need money for this problem. You just need policy, and he could do it. He could put an executive order, just like the prior one. He's the one that removed it. Let's just keep it real. He removed it. That caused the floodgates to be open. That just don't make no sense. But all of these people followed it. Just if you want to know where who's behind it, where is the money going? That's it. Where's the money going? Who is it to gain? And that's the underline is taxation. Number one, they need people to work for taxation. Americans, and then, oh, they won't work. We can't work. We can't work. You can't work if you living in New York City, but now the average rent is $5,500 a month. You can't work for $15 an hour. It's impossible. And they're not giving you housing. You can't even work for that to pay for rent there. And then they talk about you won't work. What the heck? I'm doing a side hustle, a full-time job. And I know people from New York, New Jersey, they doing everything. They got a side hustle. They be party promoting. They be they do lashes out of their house. And still not making it. And I'm cool. I understand. I appreciate it because I was one of them. Me and Diamond to tell you, we was one of them. That's why I said, let me get the heck up out of here. This is bull crap. this is bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And I was in a position to go. Let me get up out of here because these people crazy up here. And then they gonna shame you. Oh, y'all won't work these jobs. We will. Oh, they working the jobs you don't want. We don't want them because we can't work them. If you pay us more, I can get out there. And then let me tell you another lie. Let me tell you another lie. I'm going to just give y'all truth bombs. All that, oh, they going to pick fruit and this, and that. Yo, y'all, you think technology is in farming? Anyway, folks ain't doing all this fruit picking. They got machines for that. I promise you, y'all, they got machines for that to pick apples and all of that. That is not it. That's not the truth. Okay, that is not the truth. Just like they say, tax the rich. This is the opposite. They're gonna tax you, and you're gonna pay for corporations' cheap labor. That's what I'm telling y'all. That's what it is. It's they all in the same game. Look what they said. We all in the same. Y'all remember that West Coast said, yeah, they all in the same game. I'm telling you, they just doing a shell game. Okay. It's just, I'm telling y'all, it is political theater. They are the same bird, just different wings. I'm telling you. So don't play that. We need to tax the rich. I'm gonna tell y'all no lies. They ain't gonna never tax the rich. They never gonna tax the rich because they got products. And all the rich is gonna pass the cost on to you. And that don't make no sense.
Why would they tax themselves?
Remember when Amazon in New York, it was free for delivery, and once they made Amazon pay, they made you pay for it. They not going to tax them. Okay, it's a lie. It's a lie. Use a lie. Use a lie. Who said that? That was Tina Turner. Use a lie type. Just tell them all. Use a lie. Use a lie. They are a lie. They just playing in your face. I'm telling y'all, they playing in your face. I hate you. I hate you. We going to lunch? Yeah, we gonna go to lunch. They just go and sit and go play. They make it. They get in their bag. Little Hillary Clinton. What's the little grandbaby? Charlotte or something. That girl's so rich. All of them rich. Trump grandkids. They rich. All of them. All of them kids rich. Sasha Malia rich. Guess who not? Us. we not rich. And I'm just telling y'all. So just stay focused. Somebody said, honestly, uh, people should purchase a home after 2020 based on your information or based as a question. I'm going to say you should buy a home based on your demographics. Okay. So it's like where you at. So the New York, New Jersey area, I see its prices like for a 3 bedroom might be like $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 a month. So it might be worth it for you to buy a home there because maybe, home values is going to hold up higher because there is more people coming in. But maybe somebody in the South, it might not be the same numbers. So, well, my baby is sitting here. I know y'all hear her. So, Diamond, you closed it out for me.
Okay, well, if we didn't get to all of your questions, I'm going to leave an email down below. And also, we have this webinar coming up 2024. This is the last day of the credit kickoff. However, we'll be back every Saturday to talk about more topics, to bring more guests on that have more information, such as taxation, a whole bunch of different topics talking about making money, things like that. So we're hoping to kind of start a podcast like thing that we got going on. But today is the last day of the credit kickoff. So if you have any questions, I'm going to leave the email down below. I'm going to leave my information down below. Diamond Chanel on YouTube. Someone said, can y'all talk more about the elite credit system? I'll leave a link to a form we have, and it gives you all the information on that, as well as some videos that you can watch so you could get a full grasp on it. And I hope that everybody enjoyed all of this information here.
And even with the credit kickoff, even though this platform, I'm going to always talk about credit. That is the purpose of the platform. So when we start talking, like somebody said, based on this information, is it time to buy a home? And reiterating that, and we talk about that with credit. Okay, it depends, like I said, where you are, but it also, I know interest rates is higher, but depending on your situation, it might be worth for you to refinance later on down the line if you're in certain areas. But maybe in other areas, with the interest rates being higher, it's driving your home prices down. So if you now go and try to refinance later on down the line, your home isn't appraising for the amount that's owed on it. So it might not be the right time for you. I will tell you my opinion, land right now is the best opportunity. That's what Sherry sees. On my standpoint, where I am, land, because now land is being driven down because home builders is no longer really buying like that because interest rates is higher. It's less people that's buying homes. And so they're not buying a ton of land. So land might right now be the best avenue for you if you're not in the inner city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're not in the inner city, taxation, California, Chicago, they went up on taxes. Jersey, they went up on taxes. New York, you already know. Anything blue, don't buy no. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Anything blue, stay away. High taxation. All right. On what you gonna call it? That thing got to produce for you on that property tax. So I say the best strategy might be land. And in certain ways, me and Diamond going to talk about that. Diamond, we got some good information on how to make land while you have it, how you can make money off of land
Yep.
right now. and it's a cheaper investment. So hopefully, and you, if somebody said Philly taxes went up, damn, and Philly, we was thinking before moving here, we remember we was gonna bust a move down to Philly. Philly, I like Philly. Philly is a great opportunity. King of Persia around some of these areas are a little more higher end, but Philly was a good option. But now, Honey Bunny is saying even Philly is going up.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I hope this was informational. Please join us next week. We'll be here and we'll still be talking about. Somebody said, please, I have land and don't do it. What do,
No,
what, oh, what, oh, please. Okay. We'll talk about that. You want to slate, we'll, Diamond, you can make a video on that.
well, I was gonna say one thing that you can do. I have made a video on it. There's something called Neighbor.com,
Yes.
and you can rent out storage units. You can rent out spaces on your land just to have someone park their car there. And there's a bunch of different things that you could do. It's called Neighbor.com. I do have a video on it. Unfortunately, my mouse died, so I can't.
And then the one with the dog park, you'll bring on that renting out. You can rent out, y'all. Not only Neighbor, but now people in certain areas want a. You can don't even have to fence that in.
Mm-hmm.
People want to use your space for their dogs
Mm-hmm.
to walk around and get exercise. I forgot I sent you that, but
I'm a,
there's different utilities with land depending where you are, and we'll dive deep into that. Some things that y'all can make that land pop depending where it out. Mobile home
yep.
lot. If you're in a zone for a mobile home, you might rent that lot to somebody with a mobile home, or want to invest and put a mobile home on that to develop that for a mobile home.
Yep.
So there is a lot of things. Farming,
The
USD.
cows and stuff like that, hosting livestock, depending on where you are.
What did my father do? We said we got acres of land, over 75 acres of land. Y'all don't know the USDA will plant trees. My father cut trees every 10 years. And you talk about getting $60,000 for clearing some acres of land, and the USDA will pay you to reseed that. They pay for that. They will put you a pond on that land, and you could stock it for fishing. If you're in the South, people that's in the South right now, some people want to lease out your land for hunting if it's rural enough, like for hunting season. So it's a lot of stuff that you can do with land.
Yeah. So
All,
we'll
all
be back.
right, everyone. We'll be bringing you more information like this, and we will be talking about even marriage and finances and just different subjects, children and finances. Trust me, it's going to be very beneficial for y'all. And we're this week we didn't do it, but we're going to bring y'all into the conversation. So we want to have a community. We want y'all to come up and give your input, because we can all learn from each other.
Yes, yes.
All right, everyone.
Wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, everyone. Be blessed.